It's been almost a year that I've had this thing. It's a Hustler Raptor SD, and it's a 54-inch cut with a Kohler engine on it, which is 25 horsepower. And there's some likes and there's some dislikes about it. For one, you can see it's obvious it's dirty. This thing throws grass everywhere when you mow. I don't know if all zero turns do that because of the blade speed or not, but when you get done mowing, you definitely have to take a shower. You definitely have to blow this thing off or wash it off. And if you got allergies, oh my God, Lord help you, because I have allergies and this thing kicks my butt. It's built heavy, and I'm pleased with the way that, I mean, the tires are huge. The deck, I don't know if it's 1/4 inch, but it's solid. I mean, they even got flat bar around here, around the edges to keep you from bashing into something. I believe they really overbuilt this thing, and that's a plus. The downside, and this might just be because I came off a lawn tractor, is it burns gas. Crazy. It burns a lot of gas. It takes me maybe an hour, 15 minutes to mow, and it probably burns almost 2 gallons in just that time. Don't quote me on the exact, gas usage, but it's a lot more than just a regular riding lawn tractor. The steering I like. From what I've read, these levers have a very wide range of throw, and when you give a wide range like that, it doesn't make it so touchy. It's more forgiving, from what I've read, and I've read this is one of the good attributes of this mower, and I like that because this was my first zero turn, so there was a learning curve for me, and knock on wood, I haven't hit anything with it yet. I did get the bagger, and it was mostly just because tracking the grass back into the house with wet shoes, walking the dog and stuff, and I'm glad I did get it. But there's a couple things about it, and one is it always fills that side up first, and then it fills that side up, and it's not really a bad thing, but what's nice about that is when you're sitting, you can reach around and kind of tap this while you're driving and tell how full, once that outside bag, that right hand side bag gets full, starts to fill up, it's time to empty them, because the other side's already full. And if you let it go and you don't empty it, the chute gets all clogged up, and once the chute gets clogged up, then you have to take everything apart and pull it out by hand, which isn't a big deal. It's just a hassle. I mean, it all comes apart with bungees. There's one down there, there's one there, the bottom section comes off, this top section comes out, and you just got to clean them all out. I like the fact too that the bagger comes off very easy. It's basically just these pins you pull out, and you can take the bagger off. And because I mow sometimes out in the field, and there's no need to catch that grass, so just pull the bagger off, go out there and just throw it. And when you get the bagger, you get a high lift blade for the outboard on this side to throw the grass up the chute, and that helps too when you're just not using the bagger and you're throwing grass, because it really throws it far. I put a little bin in just because the compartments they give you to store like drinks and stuff, I always lose stuff out of them. They're not deep enough, so I threw that in there. So my bug spray, my bottle of water or whatever, I'm not going to lose it. I added a light, not a big deal. The hardest part of that was finding where to run the wire, because you got so much going on with the levers moving, and so I had to like run it in here but that came out pretty good. And I put a little switch on it with a fuse. It's an aux beam. They're cheap. You can pick them up on Amazon for like 20 bucks, and it's killer bright, way bright for mowing at night if that's what you do. Another downside I don't like is the way they do the oil changes. It's the oil empties down there. You have to get a hose that they give you when you buy the mower and put it on there and kind of fish it through to the bottom. And the problem is, if you stick your hand on there and try to put the hose on after you got done mowing, you end up burning yourself. So you gotta like come out here cold, put the hose on, warm the mower up, then you gotta find something that'll fit under there to catch the oil, because there's not a lot of clearance over there. So it holds 2 quarts exactly, but you gotta kind of find something, some kind of plastic container or something that you can fish under there, because the hose isn't really long enough to reach all the way to the ground. So it's a little sketchy. And the other thing is the oil filter. When you take that off, you know, you got the oil dripping all over the pan down there. So, but you know, you do that what, once, twice a year. It's not that big of a deal, but they could have made it easier. Batteries under there, gas tank blows down under there. Let's see, what else? The PTO engage, you have to do it at like 3/4 throttle. I don't know if all your turns are like that. You really got to rev it up. If you try and engage your PTO at like half throttle, you'll stall the engine. Just one thing I noticed. After you do it once, you won't do it again. The deck height is, I love the way they got the deck height. It's so simple. I mean, you just push it down, you pull it up, and down she goes. And if you want to adjust the deck height, it's so simple. You just take the pin out, which has got a little lip on it. Yeah, and you put it in wherever you want. And lower is higher, higher is lower. But the seat's very comfortable. They give you armrests, but I don't even use them. I looked at quite a few models before I bought this. I shopped around a little bit. I mean, these are not the cheapest and they're not the most expensive. They're kind of, they're mid-range. This is what I paid for it back in August. It was August 31st, 2017. The Raptor SD was $40.99, and I got the bagger for it was $5.99, and it came out $43.64. Maybe this can help somebody else get a better deal than what I got. The air filter, you have the maintenance pretty much every time you mow because of how much grass this thing throws. It gets dusty. Now I have the pre-filter on there. That green thing's a pre-filter. You have to buy that separate. They don't give you that when you buy the mower. But when I saw how dirty it was getting, I would recommend going and getting the pre-filter. Save your engine life. I like it. I would recommend it. I think anything you buy like this, you're going to have some downsides to it. Because of the stiff frame, it does jar you a little bit if you hit something. There's not a lot of flex going on in there.